Hi guys, it's science time with Miss Amy and Millie. She is out investigating what we're going to be doing today. Oh, who'd you find, Millie? Yeah, if you could not stand on the iPad, that would be good. All right, so today we are going to do an investigation of two. We're going to do a compare and contrast. We're going to compare our worms with our caterpillars. They're similar in some ways, but they're different in others. And we're going to start adding some things that we're noticing to our garden journal. So for today, you're going to need your garden journal, some crayons, and if you want to be fancy and you've started your worm bid, you could take them out because we're going to be adding them to our journal. But for today, you can just kind of use what we're doing here. And because we're going to be working with some live critters, I've picked from my bug kit, my entomology kit. I've chosen a paintbrush in case I need to handle somebody gently, a stick, and my tweezers. I probably won't use my tweezers. Like I said, I like to use my fingers because then you know how gentle you have to be. But to each their own. And we're going to get started. Millie, are you going to read with me? Or are you going to go back in your cage? Since we're outside and I can't keep an eye on her, I'm going to, oh, she's investigating lots of other stuff. I'm going to put her back into her cage. So, come on, Mills. There you go. Good girl. You take a rest. We'll come back and we'll say goodbye later. Okay. So today, our story is, if you know the story Bad Kitty and Bad Puppy, it's by the same author. Well, actually, the dad wrote the story, Robert O'Brule, and his son, Nick Brule, who wrote Bad Kitty and Bad Puppy, drew the pictures. So this story is called Bob and Otto. And as you can see, we've got our earthworm and our caterpillar. Let's see what is going to be the deal with these two creatures. Are they going to be friends? Let's see. Bob and Otto by Robert O'Brule and pictures by Nick Brule. Look at that tree. It's a big, beautiful tree. Once there were two very good friends, Bob and Otto. It was spring and everything was lively and exciting. These two very good friends spent each day digging in the ground, playing in the grass, and eating leaves that fell from the old tree. Got a little bit. Let's see. That's a little bit better. Bob looked up. I need to climb this tree, he said. I want to see how the world looks from up there. Up there, said Otto, but it's so nice down here. When it is hot and dry, you can dig deep into the ground where it is cool and damp. And when it rains, you can come back up. Life is good just where we are. Why would you want to go up there? Right? He's an earthworm. He doesn't understand that. Because it's important, said Bob. And up the tree he went. It's important down here too, said Otto. And down into the ground he went. Bob climbed, and he climbed, And he climbed and he climbed until he was very high in the tree. Otto dug and he dug and he dug and he dug until he was very deep under the tree. These fresh green leaves are very tasty up here, thought Bob. So he ate and he ate and he ate until he felt quite sleepy. These old rotted leaves are very tasty down here, thought Otto. But still, he dug, and he dug, and he dug, until he felt quite sleepy. So Bob slept, and he slept, and he slept, and he slept for many days and nights. But Otto still dug, and he dug, and he dug, and he dug, and he dug some more. What's happening? Right, Bob is changing, and Otto's getting bigger and longer. Wonder how they're changing. When Bob finally woke up, he was so full of joy, he felt like flying. So he flew over and under and around every branch of the tree. Otto loved digging so much, he dug over and under and around every root of the tree. Soon, Bob realized how much he missed his old friend and all of the fun they used to have together. Soon, Otto realized how much he missed his old friend and all of the fun they used to have together. So down went Bob to find Otto. And up went Otto to find Bob. Oh, here they are. Hello, Bob. Hello, Otto. I like your wings. So, you can fly? Sure can. Otto? Otto, why are you sad? Asked Bob. Because, said Otto, if I had climbed up into the old tree with you when you asked me to, then maybe I would have grown big, beautiful wings like yours. And maybe I could fly. Right? He's imagining. But I didn't. All I did was dig and dig and dig and dig and then dig some more. But I'm still just a big, fat worm. No, you're not, said Bob. While you were digging, all I did was eat. While you were digging, all I did was sleep. While you were digging, all I did was fly around. But while you were digging, you loosened the soil so the roots could drink water, so the tree could grow tall, so the leaves would be green, so that I could eat the leaves and grow wings. I owe it all to you, Otto, said Bob. You are not just a worm. You are my best friend. Right? In nature, everything has to cooperate in order for it to work properly. You are my friend, and friends are important. And that is the end of the story of Bob and Otto. So, we have earthworms And we have caterpillars. And they've never met one another before. So I'm not sure that they're going to be best friends right away. But we're going to add a worm to our worm journal. And I think the best thing to do is, let's take a peek at them first. So I'm going to bring you down and then we'll go back up. All right, so I'm going to take my stick. I'm going to say, come on out. Maybe we can name them all Otto. Right, Otto was the worm. Let's see if I can get you. There's a little bit of a glare out here, so it's tricky for me to see exactly what the camera is seeing. So you can see the earthworms. There's a few in here, right? He's going forward, so that's the head. And around the neck area is this thick part called the clitellum. That's where they make their eggs. And then out is the back. So you can kind of see him crawling. Now it's hot outside today, so they're a little bit busy. You can see we've only had these earthworms in here. We made our vermicomposter on Monday, and it's Friday. They're already a little bit chubby, right? See how much they eat and grow in just a very short amount of time. So those are our worms. And now I'm going to introduce you to our caterpillars. Now I'm going to put in pictures of what they looked like when we first got them. But here's, these came in on Tuesday, I think. Maybe Wednesday. They were, whoops! They were a little bit skinnier, but they've been busy eating and growing. Now, the main difference, well, there's a lot of differences between worms and caterpillars. They're two completely different species. Caterpillars are insects. When they grow up, excuse me, when they grow up and turn into butterflies, they're going to have 6 legs and 3 body parts. That's what makes an insect. Worms don't have legs. They're what we call arthropods. They're actually closer to Gary than they are to these caterpillars. Right? So we'll call these guys all Bob. Bob the butterfly. And we've got Otto the worm. So you can see they are crawling around. They have legs, whereas we know worms don't have legs. They've got those little tiny hairs. Let's see, maybe I can put them side by side. There we go. We don't want them running away, so we'll look at them like this. So you can see they're similar, right? They're both long and skinny, but they move in different ways. Another way they're different is caterpillars have little tiny jaws that they use to chew up the leaves, and worms, we learn, they swallow stones, and that's what helps them crunch out. So you can see them moving differently. See how the caterpillar sort of wiggles and inches along? You can kind of see it like rippling. It's pretty obvious too. The caterpillar definitely has a head with eyes. An earthworm lives underground. He doesn't need eyes. The other interesting thing is that caterpillars come in boy caterpillars and girl caterpillars, but earthworms are both. Uh-oh, let's see, they're going to meet. Bob and Otto in real life. They're both herbivores, so they both like to eat plants. Earthworms will find their food and pull it underground. Caterpillars like to climb up on plants, just like the book said, and eat fresh leaves. And I'll show you when caterpillars come, when you order them, they come in this little jar. Their food is this stuff down at the bottom. And these little round things are their waste or their poop. So you'll be able to see as they get ready to go into their next stage, we'll start to see that their poopies are going to get bigger. For those of you that are into that kind of stuff. And I'm going to put Bob, our caterpillar, back. Say goodbye, Bob. You're going to get in there too, Bob. Maybe you're Roberta. Some of them are girls, some of them are boys. And we're going to watch how they change over the next little bit of time. Put the lid back on very gently. And then we've got our Otto in there. I'm going to give him a gentle tap so he doesn't get mushed. He doesn't want to come off. And today we'll put the worm into our garden journal. I think it's hard to tell. There we go. So I'm going to use pink and brown for my earthworm. And so we know worms have two, they're long and skinny. And they can, I'm going to make mine a grown-up worm. So they're kind of pinkish. And they're kind of brownish. And there's lots of interesting things that we've learned about worms, right? We know they can't swim. That's why they come up out of their holes after a rainstorm. We know they're herbivores. That means they eat plants. And we know their special job is to turn all plant stuff into soil and make lots of air in the soil so that the roots of the plants can get down deep and not be coming up against hard things. So they move the rocks around. They make it easy for the plants to drink. I'll show you in my picture. If I have a flower on top, right? It's got roots that go down underground. And if those roots didn't have earthworm tunnels to go through, they wouldn't be able to go down deep. And that means that when we had a really hot sunny day or not, we didn't have a lot of rain for a while, they would shrivel up on top. That wouldn't be good. So worms are super important. They make those tunnels down below. I'll make some empty tunnels where the worms made their tracks. And now we're going to take our crayon and we're going to write worm. What letter do you hear? A W. Then there's an O. And now let's find that next consonant. R. Worm. M. W-O-R-M. Worm. And so we'll come back and we'll do another different journal entry with our caterpillars on another day. So we'll say goodbye to Millie. My neighbor's starting to do some work. He likes to do woodworking, so we'll probably go inside for a little bit. All right, goodbye. Give him a boop, Millie. Boop, boop.